A beautiful morning brought a lot of promise as I met Captain Jack Payne at the Sweetwater Marina in Delacroix. This area is normally a winter speckled trout fishing heaven, but it's having an off year due to cold, dirty, fresh water coming from the Mississippi River.
Oh, look at you with the keeper.
However, that same condition makes fishing for redfish almost easy.
Whoa! You got a little fin problem right there. A little finjury. Working it, baby. Ooh, that's a perfect red right there.
With a keeper. Oh, we're warming on up.
Oh no, he's a beauty too.
Uh-oh.
He's a good looking fish.
Captain Jack Payne and I hit grass-lined shorelines with beautiful weather and great success.
Stay on the hook, get in the boat. Boom! Oh, that's a pretty one, Jack.
Christmas red. Are we close? Oh, he's close.
I got 17 here. Yay!
Now, while redfish are spread all over the area, Captain Jack does have a few favorite hot spots for the weekend.
Like the hottest spots have been Lake John, Four Horse, Pato Caballo, down the Twin Pipeline towards, the Spider and stuff like that. That's where they seem like the best concentrations of fish have been in those directions.
Caught on a Berkeley gulp. Ooh. Oof. Another keeper.
Oh man.
It's a good one too. Hang on, a little more drag. There we go. So, what you expected?
I expected it to be a great day of red fishing, and it was more than a great day. It wasn't so great for you in the beginning, but it got way better. I mean, in fact, you did 100% better.
Did 100%? You're so kind. So I get most improved captain for today.
I put 5 in a box. I got you fired up, and you got your mojo on, and boom.
And boom. We did end up, we even were able to let cameraman Jay Yates to catch his 5, so we did 15. You certainly saved the hot spot for last, but you did at the crucial time, pull out 5 pretty quick. I think you were done at 9:15. I was done by 12:30. So not bad. It's close, same day, same time zone.
He just wanted to spend more quality time out here with me, I think.
I do. I love being out here with you, Captain Jack Payne. Let's talk about fishing right now. I know we've got fronts that come through, and it's 70-something degrees one day like today, and it's 40-something degrees the next. But that's not atypical of Delacroix. What's the strategy when you deal with those kind of fronts and this year the higher river and the dirty water? I mean, they're out here. You've talked about the grass beds next to deep channels. By far 100%. I think every fish we caught today was in that exact scenario. Is that the only way you can catch them?
No, like tomorrow, for instance, when it's big fronts would come through, I'm gonna probably do some bottom fishing. There's a few spots I'm going to pop and cork with the customers, and if that don't work, we're going to go hit the bottom and jig on the bottom and catch them.
Go to the deep holes.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I mean, everybody, at least most science right now, I shouldn't say everybody, but most science right now says anytime there's a significant weather change, the fish tend to go deep.
Mm-hmm.
And so with high winds and cooler temperatures, that would make a lot of sense. And really, Delacroix's got a fair amount of deep spots, even though for the most part it's shallow.
Yeah, like deep spots, meaning like turns and bayous where you look on your GPS, it's 15 foot deep. If you can find a turn in the bayou where a little Trinas is coming out, that's usually always good. And then, next trick, just try to find some spots like that where you can kind of tuck in out the wind when the wind is just out of control.
What do you see for the next, we're moving into to truly Louisiana's depth of winter. As we move into the latter part of the early part of the year, in the late January, February, even beginning of March, that's when we truly start getting into our days that stay cold, or at least stay cool pretty consistently. What happens then this year with the conditions the way they are?
Just got to work a little harder.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You think?
But I mean, what I've been hearing, it ain't supposed to get really that cold. We're supposed to have these little, what they showing on the Weather Channel and stuff, that the cold weather's, probably not going to come as often as last year and stuff, but It's supposed to be a little milder than last year.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
What about drum? I mean, you know, puppy drum. I know that's not everybody's favorite target species, but a good puppy drum eats as well as a good redfish. Are you seeing any drum? This is sort of that time of year when they get more active.
I haven't, honestly, this year's been tough on the drum. I fished in some of my spots and I haven't caught but just a little handful here and there.
The next favorite stepchild would be Sheepshead, which are fattening up right now to get ready for their breeding season. It starts in probably 6 weeks or less. And are you seeing any sheephead?
Some guys went out to Stone Island a month or so ago and they just destroyed them. They caught as many sheephead as you want. That would be some of the spots I would tell you if you want to go catch sheephead. The rigs outside, they'll be holding plenty sheephead. Well, and you can catch the weather right, you go out there, it's almost guaranteed you're going to catch sheephead.
And it should just get better, because once they start breeding, that's where they hang out, is all that structure right in the shallow waters of Breton Sound and near you know, good deep holes with some shells, especially where they can chew on things. So right now, you still think the sheepshead are more outside than inside?
I mean, they've been catching a few around Four Horse in the deep spots where the twin pipeline meets Four Horse on the north end of Four Horse, and you know, part down towards the big bayou that takes you into Pato Cabala. There's some 20-foot holes over that way where some of them little bayous come in. They've been catching a few, but I think the sheephead haven't really moved up like normal because
fresh water.
Yeah.
You think it is the fresh water?
Fresh water's kind of got a lot of stuff hemmed up, but there are speckled trout in the interior of Delacroix. There's some guys that have been steadily going out and catching them, and you know, some of those guys fish a lot by themselves, and you know, it's hard with customers to catch a finesse bite. You know, it's the way they fish them is really tough, and I just been mostly targeting redfish. We're fortunate that we have as many redfish in the marshes that we do. We
covered a lot of ground, and while there was no one, well, until our last spot, there was no one real super smack of redfish, but every place we stopped, we caught some. Yeah, some places more than others.
Yeah,
but
two or three, every spot, 5 in one spot. That last spot, about 15 or 20.
Right,
but, right. That's just a few here, a few there, you know, and you get a magical spot, you'll catch a good amount.
So as we head into this year, you know, a lot of times people, we watch the reports, and they're always looking for information on finding fish. And one of the things we've never really covered is all the information that's sort of available to you before you leave the dock. So do you personally, do you use Saluna tables?
Believe it or not, I used to use it when I day hunted, and I had a lot of luck with that.
You felt that they had?
Yes, I mean.
What about tide tables?
I definitely try to fish the tides, but you know, in my business, you just have to fish every day.
Show up in the morning and go.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Wind direction?
East wind's always your best friend. West wind's your worst friend.
What is in Delacroix on an east wind, what's your upper limit? What's the highest wind you think you can fish?
Well, you know, there's still a lot of places you can tuck in out the wind and fish, you know, shorelines where the wind's blowing up against it, you know, in little tight spots and catch fish like that. But I don't know, 15, 20. I mean, I fished in way more and had...
Still caught?
Yeah, plenty fish, but this year, you know, just a little different than the rest of the years I've been in business down here. It's a little bit tougher.
This is an exceptional year with the high river and the dirty water and all, but what about the USGS water data stations? I think there's one I know there's one in Four Horse, but don't you have some other ones?
There's one in Lake John. I believe there's one on the upper end of Oak River.
And those will tell you salinity.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so you can kind of see where the salinity line is through them. You also, do you ever look at the Lake Pontchartrain Basin Foundation's salinity maps? They send out a couple times a month.
I haven't really paid much mind to it, but I know some people believe, you know, and follow all of that stuff. And I'm just like, you know, I got to go regardless.
You got to get up and got to go. So, all right, well, I guess the last one's your network. You know, I think everybody tries to build a network of anglers. You and I are very fortunate to have a very large one because we're in the business. I mean, how important is it to talk to your friends and share the information that they have and that you have?
It's important, you know, if you can get a network of people that you trust and feel confident in what they're telling you and what you're telling them, it helps out tremendous in the fishing world. You know, everybody, you know, it's hard to cover as many acres as they got out here. Right. You get a little intel, you know, it can make you dig a lot faster and a lot more fun.
I guess trying to think of everything you kind of cover, season, time of the year. Does that play a big role on what areas you're going to cover?
You know, like February and March, I used to fish a lot back Point Fiend and stuff like that, and that's kind of where we fish today, back at Point Fiend, and for the redfish, and it seems like it's on pattern to be, you know, right where it needs to be for redfish in that area. Trout used to be any place you could find clear water with 3 or 4 foot of depth. You could catch speckled trout just about anywhere in Delacroix, but like I said, people have been catching them. Unfortunately, it hasn't been me, but like I said, I haven't really been hunting trout as hard as I used to, because it's like when you do find them, it doesn't seem like you know, you might catch 15, 20, and you know, it's hard to make a day on a fishing trip with customers that like action. And redfish are fun. People that don't normally
I love it.
get to catch redfish, you know, as much as you and I, they think it's just the greatest thing in the world, feeling big suckers pull, you know, and rip a little line off the reel.
Yeah. I think all of those things that we discussed are important. That, you know, they all give you little bits of information when you're trying to crack that code. But the reality is, you're right. Okay, so as a captain, you get up in the morning, you're gonna make sure that it's safe conditions. Your party meets you at the dock. What is that first thing as you step in the boat and you're thinking, all right, I didn't catch too many here yesterday. I did catch a few there yesterday. What's the first thing you're looking for when you're trying to decide, where am I going today?
That's a hard decision sometimes. That's like the hardest decision. When I'm riding out, people are like, man, you got the greatest job in the world. When they see the sun cracking up, they don't realize what
You are
me
bankrupt.
and many other guys that fish for a living with their brain, how they're scrambling. Like, man, should I go here? Should I go there? Should I do this? Should I do
Stay
that?
in, stay
And
short,
then
go
sometimes you
long.
overthink it, and you should have stayed where you were at because you were catching them, and you go try to hit 4 or 5 more spots where you think they're going to just be piled up, and end up going back to the first spot you started and catch fish.
And people always ask, why'd you save the best spot for last?
Yeah. And most of them don't realize you're back at the same spot you first started at.
You might be, you might be. Well, brother, a great day, a lot of fun. I got a calendar full of dates for us to look at when we get back, so let's book it so we do this again more often this year than last. And if you've got any questions for Captain Jack Payne, the number of the Sweetwater Marina is right there on your screen. Certainly you can call him to book a fishing trip, or talk to him about launch or live bait or lodging. All of those things are available down at the Sweetwater Marina. As always, a great day.
Thank you.
I love you, brother, very much. I enjoy our trips.
Happy New Year,
Even when
everybody.
you kick my backside, I still have a good day.
Well,
It's
today
not
I
over.
just
we are
wanted to-
just starting the year.
That's
You
right.
realize
I
that will be
realize
the rest of this year.
I want to start the New Year's off right. So.
Oh, boom, boom. Fair enough. You got me. I love it. Let's get back.
All right.